In my recent trip to Lisbon, I stayed in the Intercontinental Lisbon Hotel. Located in the mid-levels, this property was originally under the ownership of the Meridien from 1980s until it was sold to the IHG Group in 2014. The property has undergone major refurbishment in the same year, and as you can see from this clip, it still exudes a bit of the Meridien's vibe, which is always slightly compact and dark. This is slightly different from the vibe that I experienced when I stayed in other intercontinental hotels like the one at Dublin or Singapore, but I do need to give credit to the Intercontinental Hotel for at least trying to inject its own identity. That said, once you've seen the rooms of this hotel, it is actually very intercontinental, which always exudes a certain kind of opulence typical among its hotels, but that I mean in a very subtle and elegant way. While no chandeliers or high ceilings would be expected in the properties, except maybe the one at Singapore, it has always created a sense of coziness and elegance that is perfect for business travelers, as nothing beats a cozy sofa or a comfy king-size bed after a red-eye flight. For the bathroom, it's also very typical intercontinental. It's clean and well kept, except the fact that some of the tiles have a few cracks on them, which reminded me that Portugal was actually a seismically active country. Like its siblings, Barredo's products were used as bathroom amenities, which is of course a top-notch brand. The only catch is that it has no bathtub, so for those who prefer to have bubble bath, it would not be possible. For food, let's start with breakfast. Again at €25, nothing shocking, just decent with a reasonable amount of choices. You can also order a la carte ones at no extra costs. One thing that I like the most is that during my whole stay, it was never too crowded, and staff has always been very attentive. However, I have to say if you have stayed in Intercontinental Dublin or London's O2, you might be disappointed. Well, that's because the two properties have set a really high bar. Fortunately, its restaurants have redeemed itself. First, let's visit the bar at ground floor. I have to say it's not any typical bar that sometimes intimidated people like me who don't drink, as the staff is really warm and friendly. You also won't hear loud music or people talking loudly like the ones at W hotels. Not only have they got non-alcoholic drinks like this mint and coriander lemonade, they also have snacks like this beautifully made club sandwiches and french fries. What better way to rejuvenate after a delayed flight than having such refreshing snacks? The Akla restaurant is another highlight of this hotel. First, let's see the soup of the day, which is cabbage, bacon, and grilled octopus. It is creamy and well cooked, as it has absorbed all the best taste of the ingredients like the fragrance of bacon, the grassiness of cabbage, and ocean taste of octopus. For starters, I have this Mozambique wild shrimp croquette. While in general it's tasty, I do think the ones that I had in Barcelona are actually much better in the taste department, as they're actually beautiful in texture and creamy inside. This one is slightly dry and more like the bird's eye fish fingers that we had when we were young. Fortunately, this grilled codfish is very good, as you can see from this clip that it's beautifully grilled and very juicy. On my second day, I've tried the in-room dining. This salad with ricotta cheese is very refreshing and fulfilling at the same time, and the ingredients are all top-notch. While for the day when I checked out, I had this beautifully made spinach ricotta soup, which is super creamy and filled with a luscious texture of dairy and spinach. While for the main dish, this tagliatelle with Mozambique wild shrimp and Reggiano has a sprinkle of citrus taste thanks to the refreshing ingredients of coriander and asparagus. And to end this lunch on a high note, what better way than to have this creamy and beautifully made creme brulee. Last but not least, let me take you to the gym at this hotel. While there is no swimming pool in this hotel, the gym is well equipped with facilities like dumbbell, strength training machines, and treadmill. All in all, my stay at the Intercontinental Lisbon was a really impressive experience. It has lived up to the standard of a typical Intercontinental hotel. Staff has always been professional and dignified, and that's actually what I like the most about Intercontinental hotels, especially after you have stayed in other 5-star hotels that claim to focus more on personal touch but can't even ensure consistency in service. Knock knock, Emma, I'm talking about you. Another thing that I like the most about this hotel is the fact that it's flying under the radar, including its price. It's what's not to love about when on average it's only charging me €300 per night, which for a not so cheap city like Lisbon is actually a bargain.